Maple Namu. Hello, and welcome back, or for the first time, to the Maple Namu Podcast. If you're joining us on Naver Clips, I hope you enjoy the new thumbnail. My wife thought that would be a good idea. And in this episode, I am going to, first wish you a Happy New Year, I guess, and talk a little bit about that. It is Lunar New Year. When I was growing up, I just thought of it as Chinese New Year. And then, because that's who sort of brought it to the West. And since coming here, I've learned that there are plenty of cultures that celebrate the New Year on the lunar calendar around. And it's Lunar New Year, the Moon New Year, rather than Chinese New Year. And I don't think I knew that before I came here. And it's kind of weird because I have Chinese family. My brother married a woman from China. I visited him there. So maybe I just thought, Chinese part of the family, Chinese New Year. But now I have Korean family, Korean New Year. Well, we don't want them to fight, so we go with Lunar New Year. I am not particularly close with some of my family, which is fine, I guess, especially not the extended family. But when we were talking about our families, my wife got me in trouble the other day. She said I kept saying her family, we need to spend time with your family. Your family. And it kind of made it seem like I didn't see them as my family. And they are, because we married in, and they see me as family. So, of course, I should see them as family. I mean, I do, but my word choice made it seem almost like I didn't. So, she got upset with me a little bit, and I started saying her side of the family, because they are my family. But when we're talking about mum, there's my mum and then there's her mum, or we're talking about spending time with the family, likely not my side, but we did this year, so it's my side or her side, but still family. And it's a small difference, but it does make a difference, at least to me. And I told her that I was going to talk about that in this podcast, and I asked her about it, and it seems like she forgot, which is probably not a bad thing, but okay, why not? She likes to forget things, which can be really good. Anyway, this weekend is Solnal, or Solal if you say it quickly, because if you say Solnal, no one knows what you're talking about. And my wife is spending it with her side of the family, and I get to stay home. Which is, maybe not the best son-in-law thing to do, but we do see her side quite often. So I think I'm okay. And the reason is basically because we have dogs. And to try and bring them there and have 5 dogs in that house is a little bit difficult. I mean, we did bring them one time. I don't know whether that was for New Year or Chuseok one year. But our dogs are inside dogs, and the dogs out there are outside dogs that don't like living outside. So they just cried and complained and drove everybody nuts. So because all I basically do there is eat and sleep, I get sent home. And that's okay. I mean, they're especially lonely these days because they're still recovering from us going to Canada. But they've been doing okay. We've been starting to train them a little bit. They're starting to learn some things, and it works okay. It's not too bad. So they like to spend time with me, and it's all right. I don't mind too much. Just because it's kind of our family dynamic, I guess. Mother-in-law usually sends some food home. I am definitely looking forward to that. She seems like she's doing a lot this year. We're not sure why. Like, she usually does quite a bit, but for some reason she's going a little bit extra this year, which is good for our stomachs, I guess, but really not good for our diets. Yeah, I was able to lose some weight during quarantine, and I've still been going down a little bit, but I have a feeling this weekend isn't going to be very helpful for that. But we should be okay until Chuseok. that's the next major holiday, so we shouldn't have too much food until then. But speaking of doing a lot, I told this to one of my coworkers, and she was really worried that I was going to be one of those guys that just sits around and doesn't do anything. Sits around on a holiday expecting women to do all the work and just wait for food. And I said, no, I'm not that. I don't help too much with cooking and cleaning, but I do help with being a taxi driver and getting all sorts of other materials and things. And we do go often enough that I help out in other ways, because I absolutely hate doing dishes. But that's okay. Anyone who's listening, don't be the kind of person that sits around and just waits for food. Find a way to help your mom, wife, daughter-in-law. Anybody will appreciate it, I'm sure. My wife told me I have to talk about the food, so I'm looking forward to galbijim, which is like a pork ribs, bibimbap, which is just rice and vegetables mixed up. She's doing a lot of different kinds of tigim, which is like deep fried, or I guess the closest Western word would be tempura, but that's Japanese. Something like that. And I don't even remember what else she's doing, but it seems like she's doing a lot. Oh, the one cinnamon drink. I don't remember the name, but it's like a cinnamon-based drink that I really like. And she heard that I liked it like 7 or 8 months ago, I guess, and then she decided she'll make it for me. So, pretty lucky that way. Gonna eat a lot, which is, like I said, good and bad. And I'm already looking forward to having 5 days off of work. This was my first week back, and it's been okay. You know, I haven't worked that much. I feel like the powers that be, you might be listening to this, but the powers that be gave me a bit of an easy week this week to sort of readjust and get in. And I think that's because coming up the next month or two are just going to be absolutely crazy at work, because it's really difficult to get teachers to come in. So it seems like we're going to have a teacher shortage. And my schedule tends to be one of the later ones. So I'm going to be busy. But that's okay. I am looking forward to this weekend and having a happy new year and eating lots of good food from my mother-in-law and spending some quality time with the dogs. And I am a little bit worried about them, though. They really like barking at things. And they really, really like barking at things that they don't know. And this is one of 2 weekends a year when a whole lot of people come to this little village. So I'll have to make sure that they don't go absolutely crazy and bark their faces off and give us an even worse name in this village, because they already don't like us. But it's a good time for eating, sleeping, relaxing, trying to get some of the quieter projects done around the house. I might do some cement and dig some more holes, and, you know, the holidays aren't so bad. Oh, I'm going to try and trim my trees too. But Seihei bok mani baduseo. And then another fun thing about that, when I first got here, there is the word bok in Seihei bok mani baduseo, and bok has more than one meaning. One meaning is luck. And then the other meaning I learned because when I first got here in December or so, we were studying the unit in grade 6 English, something like "What's the matter?" And people were talking about, headaches and stomach aches and other things. And I was trying to learn the Korean side of these things at that point. And the Korean word for stomach ache is boktong. It can be. I guess that's hanja, but boktong, and headache is dutong. So tong means ache and bok means stomach. So when you have 새해 복 많이 받으세요, 받다 is receive, 새해 New Year, I thought it meant something like, may your stomach receive lots of things in the new year, as if, you can be eating a lot and be full. And it turns out I was wrong, but I like to think that's another fun meaning of it. Because there are a lot of questions about food here. And stomachs. I'm a little bit worried about mine, but it should be okay. Anyway, that's it for the episode today. Have a good time with your families, both sides. It's all your family. If you don't celebrate Lunar New Year, that's fine too. Try and spend some time. Call your family, either side. And if you enjoyed listening, please let me know. If you didn't enjoy listening, you can let me know too. If you like the new thumbnail, you can tell me about that. And if you didn't, that's okay too. I don't know how I feel about it. But have a great day.